Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another episode with the E30 M3 Convertible barn find. Now, we did officially put the car up for sale in the last episode, but that was only on YouTube. We haven't posted anything on social media. We haven't even put up an Auto Trader advert. And the reason why we haven't pushed it out there is because I think the journey for this car with us hasn't finished yet. And there's a few bits that I'd like to complete just to get it over the finish line. Now, obviously one of them is putting on new BMW badges, and some of you picked up on the fact that the old badges were rather crusty. So since the last episode, we've replaced the badges. However, there's a few other bits that need addressing. So this episode is about addressing the final bits, get it over the finish line, and then officially put it up for sale on social media, on Auto Trader. A quick recap. Externally, the car was detailed by our friends at Meguiar's and it's come up so good. Night and day difference. Internally, the leather was re-dyed by my namesake Raj Singh, and he's done a fantastic job. In fact, the interior looks new. The roof looks very good up until you get to here, because that rear section, the perspex screen, is torn and it looks horrible. And if I open the door, you will see some of the seals have seen better days. So we are going to address this roof and replace it, and also the engine. What's wrong with the engine, you may be asking? Well, we've already serviced it. We've changed the oils, all the fluids, we've changed the belts and so on, and it's not a bad looking engine bay. Again, we've detailed it, looks very good. However, on startup, because we haven't been driving the car, it sounds like a diesel. And I know it's an S14 lump and they can be quite tappety, but this is far from tappety. Let me show you what I mean. It's a little bit lumpy on tick over. The fan belt is squeaky, that's a minor adjustment. Now we know it starts on the button as it did there, but it should be running a lot sweeter. So what the plan is today is to drop the convertible over to my friend Cos at Birds BMW in Iver, have a brief discussion with him, leave the car with him, and then await his assessment. And then we'll give you an update once he's finished the work to what he's addressed, and hopefully the car should be running a lot sweeter. Then we'll tackle the roof, and in true car audio and security fashion, the security does work, the towed alarm. The car audio, we've replaced the Kenwood stereo. The electric aerial also works now, but the speakers are shot, so we'll replace the speakers as well. Right, now let's get over to Birds in Iver. So guys, we are here with Cos. Hello again, mate.
I'm good, yourself?
Very good, very good. So another car that I'm entrusting you with.
The barn find.
The barn find, which no longer looks like a barn find, apart from that, the rear, obviously perspex.
Like Meguiar's did a decent job on it.
Meguiar's and my namesake Raj did a fantastic job on the interior, which you will see at some point.
Good job.
Now, your job is to sort out the heartbeat.
Yep.
Best thing to do is for me to jump in and start it before the heavens open. So she doesn't sound too bad now, but you can see the engine's hunting a little.
Yeah, it's hunting a little bit.
Idling is a little bit off, and that.
Yeah.
Standard fan belt, needs a bit of tightening, whatever it is. On cold start, she does sound very lumpy and like a diesel.
Okay.
Which is not what an S14 should sound like.
No, bad S14s do.
Okay, so this is a bad S14 at this moment in time. Now, listening to the first time here, how would you tackle trying to figure out the problems?
It will go to our master tech Dennis, and Kevin's going to get involved in this one because Kevin loves an S14.
Kevin's going to get involved.
Kevin will get involved.
Fantastic.
We will go back to basics.
Right.
We'll start from the basics and just work way through it and go from there. There's a few simple things, there's a few known issues. We'll go through it. But straight away I can eyeball that alternator's not sitting straight.
Okay.
So that's going to be causing the belt issue. So that's going to need alternator bushings. So that's that, but we'll get back to basics.
Just go through the whole of the car, underside and everything.
Absolutely.
And just give me a list of advisories and anything that's a major concern, and we'll have a discussion. And when we come back, you can go through everything that you've addressed and any areas that may need addressing in the future, but are not a massive concern at this moment in time.
Correct.
So for those of you that don't know birds, they're in Iver, as I mentioned earlier. Details are down in the description below, but I'll cover those again when I come to pick up the car. For now, I'm going to leave the car here with Cos, and we'll be back in a week or two to pick the car up. I'll see you guys then. So guys, the first thing I did before I bought this car was carry out a car vertical history check. That history check will verify the mileage of the vehicle, ensure there's no discrepancy. We'll also check to see if the car's been stolen, recovered, ensure there's no finance outstanding on the vehicle, and most importantly, ensure the car's not being crashed or written off. Now, in the case of this car, it come up clean. However, if you check on the screen now, you'll see an E30 M3. Well, obviously it's a little bit newer than this car, but you can see that's been involved in a heavy crash. And the last thing you want to be doing is buying a car which is in that condition and it's been repaired. Before you buy a car, make sure you carry out a car vertical history check. The app works in over 20 different countries, and use our code CAS at the checkout for a healthy discount. So guys, we are back at Birds in Iver. The car's been here for a little bit longer than anticipated because I've been on holiday, but Cars has been keeping me updated with any issues, and there were a couple which I'm sure Cos is going to relay to you guys shortly. But from what I know, she's good to go. It's actually the first time he's seen it and they've had it on a ram, so he's had some time to give it a good inspection. I know it's been with you a little bit longer than anticipated, and I appreciate you keeping the car undercover and under wrap. What have you done with the heartbeat?
So, came in, did our initial checks. First thing we went through was all the valve clearances and the shims. That's all been done. Cam cover gasket has been replaced at the same time.
New belt, alternator's working as it should do, which is good. The other problem that you experienced was a dodgy ignition switch, and you weren't too sure what was causing it, but it was with ignition wiring harness, so we've gone in, rectified that.
Shall we pop the bonnet? So for a non-mechanic, which I truly am, it doesn't look much different to me.
No.
Is there anything visual that you can show that has changed?
You can see that the alternator is nice and clean. That's it, that's been refurbished. Belts are on there, but that's it. Everything that has been done is basically underneath here,
Okay.
and from down underneath there.
In terms of the car itself, I did ask you to, visually have a look at the car. Any advisories, please let me know.
Yeah.
And if there's anything major, obviously of concern, I really need to address. Did you see anything that warranted my attention?
Long-term future, yes. There is a slight oil weep there. We don't, obviously it's not the cam cover gasket because that has been replaced. What you do have is what's called the cam carrier, and you've got the timing cover. It is potentially there. We've cleaned it up, or we'll try, trying to monitor to see where it's coming from.
Sure.
But it's hard to identify. But it's minuscule. You will see it drip eventually.
Okay.
That's it. Underside of the car, it's fundamentally a very good car in my opinion. It is a little bit dirty, it's a little bit grubby, but when you go past that, you can still see in areas, namely in the rear subframe, you can still see a hint of yellow cosmeline. It's the underbody wax that the BMW used to put on the cars from the factory. It's still there.
Wow.
The brake pipes are still decent. It's all good. You've got one with extended leather, heated seats, and air conditioning. and not many of them have those three options.
When I dropped it off, it sounded like a bag. Can we have a little start up?
Yeah, of course.
It's that side, by the way.
It's that side.
See, sometimes even BMW technicians need to remind you that an E30 M3 was always left-hand drive, unless you bought it to Bird's back in the day and Kevin Bird converted it to right-hand drive. Is that correct?
I think Kevin just wishes he kept all the steering racks from those cars.
Oh, can you imagine?
That'd be a retirement fund.
They'd be worth a fortune. Night and day difference. Sounds like an S14 lock now. No longer is the engine hunting. It's idling quite flat. Yes, he pulled it out of the workshop, but it wasn't running before that. And that dreaded diesel sound that I used to hear, that clunking is gone. So massive difference. That's all done. I just need to settle the bill. I will show you what I've spent on this car in a few moments. So get inside, settle the bill, and get it over to Cass. And whilst it's at Cass, we're just going to change the speakers. We've already upgraded the stereo, but the speakers are shot. At the end of this episode, I'll show you the bill and we'll talk about money. And in fact, there's probably going to be an Auto Trader advert out by the time this video is shot. So hold out, guys. Back in a moment. See you later. So we're back at Kaz, and as I said earlier, we're going to do a speaker upgrade. The stereo's already been changed. We've got Kenwood, Meckless, DAB, Bluetooth ready, streams music, blah, blah, blah. Good stereo, that does the job. However, the speakers are shot and they sound really poor. So what we're going to do is do a like-for-like custom fit upgrade. So in the front, they're 13 centimeter components. We're going to replace them with the Powerbass S-50C. 5¼ inch mid-range, separate tweeter, separate crossover, and in the rear you've got 13 centimeter coaxials, and we're going to upgrade them to the same size speaker, 13 centimeter, however better quality, and these are two-way. So I'll let Jay pull out the original speakers, install the new speakers, and I'll be back. I'll show you the speakers that came out the car, and then we'll have a final catch up and talk about money. See you in a moment. Right, that's all been done, fairly straightforward. In the front, actually, they weren't the stock speakers. Somebody's already upgraded them to a set of Pioneer components. I think one of the speakers is shot because I could hear it rattling and farting, and one of the tweeters definitely wasn't working. And in the rear, they were upgraded too as well. So they weren't the stock speakers. We've got a set of Kenwood two-way coaxial speakers. What we've done is improve the sound and added a lot more clarity. Right, let's pull the car out. I'm gonna have a listen to the audio, make sure it sounds good. I've got the receipt from Birds. I'll show you that as well, give you an idea of how much I spent there. Because of that money that was spent at Birds, this car should start on the button and that engine should sound sweet. So let's get it outside. Bear in mind, there's no subs or amplifiers that have been added, just the speakers have been upgraded. A lot more clarity. So both the front tweeters are definitely working. And the mids are now working. So there's no speaker farting, there's no distortion, sounds okay. Obviously lacks the bass, but the new owner can add some subs if they want. So now the audio has been improved and sounds a lot better. The engine sounds so much better. It's running sweeter. The whole car has been transformed. Gorgeous British weather. Let's go for a drive and let's talk about money. So as expected, UK weather, the sun lasts all of 5 minutes. We're just about to roll out and it started raining. So we're a couple of days on now, and parked the car up, started on the button. So big thank you to my friend Cos over at Birds BMW for doing a fantastic job on the E30. Sounds perfect and it's pulling exceptionally well. No more of that tappety diesel sound that this engine was producing. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull the front windows up because I'm concerned that there might be a little bit too much wind noise. That's better. Now, I'm not going to go through all the improvements that we've done since we've owned the car, and we've now owned it for a year. It was never meant to be a one-year project, but as we all know with projects, things just take a little bit longer, and I've had other projects on the go as well. So everything we've done is covered in separate videos, and there are links to those videos in the description below. Have a watch of those, especially the Meguiar's detailing video, which I found to be very therapeutic. Remember guys, it has a working hood. That's a working electronic hood, which on E30s is a rarity. Although obviously the rear screen is damaged, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Car is currently sitting on 180,000 kilometers, which is about 111,000 miles. So, you know, for a car that's over 30 years old, that's not so bad really when you think about it. It's like less than 4,000 miles a year. She goes quite well, as you can see. 4th gear. And I'm using my indicators, so I'm a good BMW driver. So money, I am asking for £60,000 for this car as it is. That's the same amount of money I asked for in the previous episode before I spent £2,200 at Birds. I felt this car deserved that money spending on it, and I just didn't feel right selling the car knowing that there are a few issues still with the engine and the way it was running. Now I'm a lot happier with the way this car runs, drives, sounds and starts. So that money that I spent, the £2,200, is included in that asking price. I'm not asking any more for that work. Now the roof, I'm going to leave the roof as it is for now. To get the roof done, it's another £2,500 to £3,000, maybe even £3,500 by the time you pay for new tension straps, new rubbers, new seals, you purchase the new roof, all the labor and so on. And I just feel that I'd like to keep my asking price as low as possible to entice as many of you as possible, and whoever wants to repair the roof can get it done in their own time and at their own leisure and at their own cost. The cheapest cars I found online today, and we are the first week of August, are best part of £90,000. I've seen 2 of them. Yes, both of them have less miles, but guaranteed they're going to need some level of work. Now I've left enough meat on the bone with my asking price for somebody to buy this car, repaint the car in the same factory color I would have thought, so take it back to bare metal, repaint it and replace the roof, and you still have money in your pocket and a car that is absolutely mint. So at £60,000 I think it's a steal. Now what I have noticed, at speed there's a bit of steering wheel judder. I don't think it's the pads and the discs, they're all fine. I'm pretty confident it's the tyres. Now I checked the tyres earlier on, they're dated 2010 and 2012, so they're old tyres, they're unbranded as well. So I'm going to replace the tyres and get full wheel alignment at the asking price of £60,000. So that's it guys, this is my final episode. I guarantee you my final episode on the E30 M3 barn find, officially up for sale. Link below in the description to the Auto Trader advert, links below to all the previous videos. Birds in Iver, their details are down below. Thanks a lot, Cos, for helping me out sorting out the E30, sorting out the issues with the way it was running. Now let me know what you think. Have I done right with the barn find? Some of you have actually said that I should get it painted and then put it up for sale, but the price would then go up to nearer £90,000. So I think it's priced attractively. It's priced, as I said earlier, with enough meat on the bone for somebody to tackle the project and do it at their own leisure, at their own cost. If there are any questions, probably best to drop me a personal DM on Instagram, Raj, which is Raj Sanger 911. Other than that, she's ready to go. She's ready to be in somebody else's hands. Needs a new owner to enjoy this car, drive it, and unlike me, park it. These cars are meant to be driven, and this is no trailer queen. As I said, 180,000 kilometers it has been driven. So guys, make sure you smash the like button. Let me know what you think about this project, and let me know about my asking price. I think it's fair. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be back on the channel again at some point. Until then, see you then.